Hi everybody, it's Norma here, welcoming you to your Tuesday afternoon slow flow class. So as we transition into our time together, just a few reminders that you will need a yoga mat for this practice, and always great to have a water bottle handy. It is hot outside, so for those of you who have been home or maybe joining outside, just making sure that you're hydrating very, very well and that you take any breaks that need to be taken or do any modifications. Hi Andrew. Hi Marie. So we're going to get started in a supine position today, so laying on our backs in Shavasana. So as we wait for some friends to join in, just a reminder that this is a flow class, so we will be doing some chaturangas, flowing through the movements in between our postures. So if that's too much, if this is your first class or you want to take a break at any time, know that resting in a child's pose or in downward dog is always an option for you. So let's get started today, and welcome. It's nice to see some new people out there. Hi, Linz. Alrighty. So finding your way onto your mat in a comfortable position. Although I will be sitting to start the practice to guide you through, please find a comfortable position on your back. So just taking these first few breaths to arrive here, knowing that first few breaths will allow us to get settled and get ready for our practice. So finding that position that you feel comfortable by your mat. Perhaps maybe you fold your shoulders underneath. Palms can be facing up at the sides of your body. Let's focus on your breath. So maybe you're rushed to join our practice today, or maybe that you were early. I know that I was just in time for the class today. So wherever you are on this Tuesday afternoon, welcome. Know that these next 45 minutes are your opportunity, maybe for the first time, to breathe today, to take a breath and to take care of yourself. And that's really what we're here today to do, is to connect with our breath, nourish our body through our movements, and maybe fill up our hearts and feel ourselves full as we leave our practice today. So letting your shoulders soften into the mat, letting the tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Feel that support that your mat is giving you on the back of your head and your shoulders, your hips, your legs, to your toes. And take up as much room on your mat as you want to, so stretch yourself out long. Just get comfy here as we transition from that doing to maybe just being. It's okay to just be. So changing that focus on your breath, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. Just following that path, letting your breath fill up your belly. And letting it go, maybe with an audible sigh. So at your own time, let's invite 5 more breaths in as we continue to soften, letting anything go that you may have brought into your practice area, knowing that it may be available for you if you choose to pick it up at the end of class. Inhaling together through your nose. Exhale, sigh, let it all go. Fantastic. I'm going to join you now on the mat. So taking this first few moments to wake your body back up, slowly, slowly, with the greatest of ease, inviting small movements, maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes, massaging your head against the back of the mat, rotating one side and then the other. Just feeling that long stretch in the sides of your neck. Taking our arms overhead, stretching out long, pointing your toes to the edges of your mat, like you're waking up from a long nap. Can you take your knees into your chest, holding on to whatever's accessible for you? Could be your back, your legs. Just don't want to hold on to your knees. Letting your shoulders fall. So as we're just beginning to soften, we want to release any tension that we may be holding. So just rocking slowly side to side, massaging out the back of your hips. Just as you slowly rotate from side to side. So I think we're going to do a slow flow today. We'll still travel through our vinyasas. Just being a little bit more mindful, just being as we are. And feeling all the feels that we want to feel as we transition through our postures today. No rush in the world. Creating some stillness now, letting our toes come up to the ceiling. If you want to just help your balance a little bit, you can have your arms out to the side, or maybe even tucking underneath your sacrum if you have any low back issues. So just waking up our feet, pumping from side to side, just like you're on the gas or the clutch pedal. And slowly waking up our feet. Coming back now into a generous bend to your knees. Can reach through the window of your eyes to whatever again is accessible to you as we reach for our first happy baby. Big generous bend to your knees. Reaching through whatever's accessible, your inner ankle area or your pants, or maybe your toes are within reach today. So with that generous bend, as our hamstrings are still cool today, just letting your body again rock gently from side to side, or maybe you want to pull one knee in as you stretch out the other without locking out your knees. What feels good to you right now? And as we cycle through this for the next few breaths, wherever you are, just taking a moment to see, how do I feel on this Tuesday afternoon? What does my body feel like? What does my body want for this 45 minutes? And if the answer is that I want to lay on my mat and just breathe, or stay in child's pose, or maybe adding some push-ups through your chaturangas, acknowledge that and honor your body. Coming to stillness once again, taking our knees into our chests and turning over to one side or the other as we gently push up to a seat and transition over on all fours. So setting up our foundation as we enter into our tabletop. Our fingers are spread out wide. Shoulders are stacked on top of elbows, stacked on top of wrists. Just taking the insides of our arms so the eyes at the front of our arms are reaching forward. Toes can be tucked or toes can be flat on the mat. We're going to transition through some cat-cows to warm up our spine. So dropping our belly, lifting our gaze through cow. Exhaling, curling your spine, belly button to spine as you reach up and arch your back like a scary Halloween cat. Inhaling, traveling through 3 more of those at your own breath, linking breath with movement, and adding any posture or movement that may feel more authentic to you right now. Often I like to just rotate my shoulders a little bit when I'm in a cat posture. When you're ready, joining in a neutral spine. If your toes aren't tucked, please tuck them. We're going to bend into our hands and just reach our hands up just a few inches forward as we bend generously into our knees and lift our hips up and back to our first inversion, our downward facing dog. So again, what feels good to you as we come into this first downward facing dog? Do I want to be still in this posture? Or do I want to invite the movement of pedaling out my heels from right to left? Maybe wagging the tail at the top. What feels good to you right now? What is your body asking for? So we're going to be slow and purposeful as we move through our postures. Maybe holding a posture for a breath or two longer. Remember, no rush in the world. Can you bend generously into your left knee as you gently encourage or invite your right heel to the mat? Not locking out your knee. 3 more breaths here. Releasing that, bending generously into your right knee now as you invite your left heel down to the floor. And knowing that one side can be completely different than the other, and that's okay. Sending breath into any area that may be feeling some heightened awareness here. And remember, your heel may never reach the ground, and that's okay. We're wanting to pour our hearts through, lining our biceps up with our ears. Letting that go. Coming back to a neutral position. Inhaling together. Exhale, sigh, let it all go. Remember, each new breath is a brand new start. This is yoga practice, not yoga perfect. So big permission to feel all that feels on your mat and have some fun here. It's just yoga. Bending your knees, looking to the top of your mat and traveling there. Whatever serves you. You can walk, you can step, you can even jump if that's in your practice. I'm gonna back up just a little bit. My block was there to tell me when I went off screen. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and shine, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So just in a moment in our Tadasana pose, just again firming up our foundation. So feet are hip distance apart. Hands can be at your side. Or hands can be in heart center. So just feeling that connection of your feet with your mat. Feeling that strength that your legs are providing you. And letting your shoulders come away from your ears. And linking your breath. Beautiful, guys. Coming back to the top of your mat. We're going to cycle through some Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B today to mix things up a little bit. So we don't do that often, so I'll coach you through it. Everybody's game to try something new? Alrighty. Inhale, rise and shine all the way up. Exhaling, sit back in your chair. Making sure that you can still see your toes as you sit back in your chair. Just holding it for a second. Always as we exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back through plank, through chaturanga. So high or low plank, always big permission to lower your knees, taking your elbows close to by your side as you lower down. Inhaling up into a little baby back bend just to start. Tucking your toes, pushing up through table to downward facing dog. Take your right leg up behind you. Step your right foot all the way through. Taking your left foot on a 45, a few inches up your mat, can you come up into Warrior One? So Warrior One is a closed hips posture, so your hips are facing front. You're bending just like in crescent lunge. And that angle on your left foot is at the 45. Taking your hands to the mat, stepping back, chaturanga. Rinse it out. Whatever's in your practice, high or low plank. Maybe your back bend's a little bit higher this time as we're warming up. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Take your left leg up behind you. Looking forward, step your left foot now to the top of your mat as you take your right foot up a few inches on your mat. On a 45, as you come up into Warrior One, second side. So if you're feeling unsteady in your Warrior One pose, just take your stance just out a little wider. Sometimes if your feet are too close together, you're feeling a little wobbly in your stance. So always an option just to step that out further. Just making sure that your right foot is now on the 45. As your hips are to the front, you can take your arms and your gaze to the sky. Beautiful, guys. Taking your hands to your mat, stepping your left foot back this time, rinsing it out, chaturanga. Bending your knees, traveling to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sit back into your chair. Good job, guys. Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. So we don't do that as often as we do Sun Salutation A, so just let me know what you prefer. Maybe on Thursday or tomorrow rather, we'll connect both. I know my legs are on fire, so big permission, forward fold, let it all go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right leg back. Take your left leg back to join it, and rinse it out. We'll meet in downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. And I said at the beginning, if any time you want to reset or release anything, inhaling through your nose, exhale, sigh, let it all go. Take your right leg up behind you. Step your right leg all the way through. Taking your left foot now on that 45, coming back up into Warrior One. We've changed our arm expression this time. So taking our arms out into cactus. So So once again, making sure that our hips are facing forward. With our cactus arms, we're opening up our chest. And if you're feeling comfortable, you can lift it out of your chest and maybe gently lean back a little bit into a little bit of a back bend. Making sure that you're not opening your throat if you're going back into a little bit of a back bend. Beautiful. Coming back to center, taking our hands behind our chest, behind our back, and clasping. So this may be too much for somebody that has shoulder issues, so always an option to clasp opposite arms or elbows, or if you have a strap handy, you can always use that. So taking an inhale wherever you are, and exhaling, bowing, leading with your heart, taking your right shoulder to the inside of your bent right knee, to humble warrior. So sometimes we feel like our butts are gonna jut out on this one, so tucking under, making sure you're still bending into that knee, and are you still breathing? If you're feeling breathless, just let go of your arms. They can come down and just reach that shoulder to the inside of your leg. Beautiful, guys. Wherever you are, if your hands haven't reached the ground, can you take them there? Setting a foundation for half moon. Taking our right hand, reaching for the outer corner of our mat, or maybe we have a block here. Can we feel like we're standing on the floor in the room behind us? When you're feeling steady, maybe taking your hand out. Half moon. Beautiful, guys. Challenging your balance a little bit. Taking your left hand to meet right, squaring your hips up. Can you step back into a lunge as you take your right foot back to meet left, and rinsing it out with chaturanga. Beautiful, guys. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhaling. Exhaling. Let it all go. I'm just going to change direction so you can see me on the second side. What we do on one side, we must do on the other. Before we transition to second side, if you want to get a drink of water or a towel break, you can do that as we reset. Take our left leg up behind us. Step your left foot to the top of your mat. Once again, taking that right foot on a 45, just a few inches up your mat. Can you transition into warrior one, second side? Hips are facing forward, and we'll add our cactus arms. So making sure that our elbows are at about shoulder height. Our hands are wide. Maybe we have a little wave, jazzy hands as we say a B. And you can find your breath here. We want to lift into a bit of a back bend here, lifting out of our waist as we gently lean back. Maybe feeling the hands of grace on our shoulders, supporting us. Mindful not to take that chin up or open your throat. It just causes your neck to crunch up. 3 breaths here. Beautiful, guys. Neutralizing your spine, letting your hands come down, clasping behind, second side. So whatever clasp of your hands you did on one side, can you please switch that to the second side? Again, you can take clasp for your wrists or your opposite elbows. Anybody with tight shoulders may feel that this is compromising their breath or feeling that it's causing more pain, so please don't do that. You can keep your hands just clasping your hands. So we're going to inhale, exhale, bowing, leading our heart leading the way as our left shoulder comes down to our left knee. Feeling that openness of your shoulders, letting your heart lead the way, making sure we're still breathing here. Beautiful, guys. Letting your hands come down to the mat. You know where we're going now. Reaching for the outer aspect of your left mat as you drag your right leg up off of the mat, like you're standing on that wall behind you. Getting steady, maybe using that block. Once you find your balance, can you take your hand and maybe your gaze follows? Knowing that one side can be completely different than the other, and that's okay. If you want it to be really saucy, maybe you take a hand off the floor, even if it's just for a moment. Woo! Sorry if I messed you guys up. Beautiful, guys. Letting your hand come down, letting that right foot come back all the way back, planting your hands, letting left foot meet right, rinsing it off with a chaturanga, and we're going to meet in child's pose. Good job, guys. So settling into your child's pose, taking your knees as wide as the mat, lowering your hips down, your forehead touches the mat, stretching your arms forward, and just taking this moment to recoup. Let that pressure come off your shoulders. Five breaths wherever you are. And I'm going to just check to see how everybody's doing. Hi. Hi, Kim. Thanks for joining. Alrighty. 3 breaths wherever you are. Can you give yourself the opportunity to just be in this child's pose for 2 more breaths here? Allowing opportunity for some rest and some reflection on the awesomeness that you did in your standing series. When you're ready, we're going to transition back into table, joining you so that we're back to the original side. Just taking a moment here to transition through some cat-cows, just resetting your spine before meeting in a downward facing dog. This is a slow, purposeful opportunity to let your body just transition from our standing series. When you're ready, push your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look to the top of your mat and travel there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sit back into chair. So I know we've been here before. So finding that comfort in this pose, maybe if your legs are on fire, just coming up a little bit, making sure that you can still see your toes. Hands to heart center as we prepare for chair twist. So taking our left hand to our right knee, taking that right hand like it's at the back pocket, stretching open as we twist to the right. Making sure that that left knee isn't tracking forward. Are you still breathing here? Coming back to center, taking right hand to left knee this time, left hand to back pocket as you twist open to the left side of the room. Beautiful, guys. Taking hands to heart center, letting everything go. Good job. So just as we transition down to our mats, taking this opportunity to take your feet as wide as the mat. Once again, clasping opposite elbows with a generous bend to your knees. Can you just hang here in ragdoll for a few moments? Just feeling that compression of your tummy with your knees, and just letting anything that may be still hanging onto your neck, maybe just imagine it dripping off the back of the neck into your mat. Nodding your head yes, or shaking it no. Just letting it all go. Beautiful, guys. Taking your hands to the mat, inhaling halfway left, exhaling forward fold, planting your hands to our final vinyasa. And when we're ready, we'll meet on our bottoms. And we're going to transition all the way down to your mats. So, as I said, I didn't want to rush today. I wanted us to be slow and purposeful, to feel all the feels. So I'm trying to give us a nice, generous Shavasana. So taking your feet as wide as the mat, we start window wiping our legs from side to side. Again, slow and purposeful, no rush in the world. Your hands can be beside you, or again, just maybe palms face down, just giving you a bit of a support. The next time your knees fall to the right, can you leave them there? For this, I like to take my arms out wide, taking your right heel, hooking it over your left knee, and gently pressing your right knee towards the floor. Taking our left hand overhead, breathing into that left side of body. Hand can be on your belly, and your gaze can be over your left shoulder, or you can soften your gaze. And breathe. Letting your knees come up, left foot is on the floor, right heel remains like the figure 4 over your left knee. So, okay to stay here for your figure 4, feeling that stretch in your right leg. If you want to get deeper into the stretch, you can come up on your tippy toe, or maybe you thread your hands through the eye of your legs, pulling your left knee gently towards your face. So feet are flexed, but protect your knees. And if your shoulders are coming off the mat, please go back to your figure 4 here. So we've done all of that breathing and stretching to relax our shoulders. we don't want to start crunching up as we're beginning to slow down. So again, what serves your body on this Tuesday afternoon? And just because you maybe could have done this posture another time, maybe it's not serving you to go deeper this time. Letting your legs come down to the mat, right leg uncrosses left. And once again, taking your feet as wide as the mat and starting that windshield wiper from side to side. No rush in the world. Sometimes as we're getting down to the end of our class, as things mind might wander, just bring your attention back to your breath. Give yourself the gift of 10 more minutes of our class. The next time your knees fall to the left, you can leave them there. Taking our left foot over our right knee this time and hooking it. Right leg arm comes up and overhead. Feeling that breath come in the right side of your body now. You can place your hand on your belly and just relax your gaze over your right shoulder, or maybe soften your eyes here. Where can you soften here? Where can you let go? Where can you just be? Letting your right foot come flat on the mat now. Left ankle remains crossed over right, figure 4, second side. So maybe testing what feels good on this side. Maybe your toes come up on your tippy toes, or maybe you're reaching through the eye of your legs and gently bringing your right foot up towards your chest. And always aware that one side could be completely different than the other. Just awareness. And if an area is feeling a little tight, sending some breath there. Can you release anything? Beautiful. Letting your right foot come down, left foot uncrosses. And just a few more windshield wipers from side to side just to reset your spine. Taking your knees into your chest. We're going to reach through, just like when we started, to your happy baby. So reaching through to the inner aspect of your foot. Reaching for your toes with your peace fingers. Or maybe your pant legs, what you're reaching for today. Just again, mindful not to scrunch up your shoulders or your neck wherever you are. And just taking this last few minutes in your happy baby, saying, how do I feel now after 40 minutes of movement and breath, being on my mat, being supported by my mat. Taking your left knee, maybe can you stretch out your right leg without locking out the knee. Bring your right knee in to meet left, this time stretching out your left foot. Again, not knocking out that knee. Bringing both knees in together, reaching your head and shoulders up off the mat into one last little hug to yourself before taking your feet down onto the mat. So I wanted to give some choice here at the end of our class. We have a few minutes before we start our Shavasana. So yogi's choice to whatever posture you'd like to finish with. Maybe you want to take your feet in, come up into a bridge pose. Maybe you want to go back into a twist. Mindful that if you twist on one side, I'll give you a signal to twist to the other side. Or maybe you want to go up into legs up the wall. Your choice. What is your body craving for these last few minutes before your final Shavasana? Do that. Just be. The final option, where I wanted to go, was coming into recline bound ankle. So taking your feet together, maybe tucking your shoulders under. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. 10 breaths wherever you are. If you've chosen a twist for your last posture, please transition to the second side. Transitioning into your final posture, your Shavasana, taking your feet long so your feet are pointing to the opposite edges of your mat, taking your shoulders and just tucking them under to lift your heart up. Hands can be at your side, letting some breath and air come in between your body and your arms. Taking this last few minutes of class for rest, knowing that the sound of my voice will bring you back when the time is right. Enjoy. Bring your awareness back to your body as we begin to awaken once again, encouraging small movements with our fingers and our toes, maybe massaging massaging out the back of your skull, taking your head from side to side. Once again, no rush in the world. Taking your arms overhead as your feet reach back. One long last stretch before curling up to a ball and going over to one side or the other, whatever's calling you. Maybe just taking a moment in fetal position here with your arm as a pillow. Saving these last few seconds before we transition back onto our days. When you're ready, pushing yourself up to a seat. Finding a tall seat at the top of your mat. Taking hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. And bowing your head. Eyes can be closed or gaze can be lowered. So just taking this moment to scan your body once again. And noticing any changes, may they be big or small, in your body, your mind, and your heart. Thank you guys for joining me in this movement practice this afternoon. And I use the word be throughout the flows today. My wish is for you to take what we've gathered here on our mats this afternoon and take it as you continue on your days to just be. Last night I had a plan of what should be done and had all this busy work, and my dog had other ideas. She didn't want to walk on the road. She wanted to walk our property and chase rabbits. And so I let it be. I let, my course change and let just whatever happened come up. And it was lovely. So if you have an opportunity, if you can just be, rather than doing or having plans, sometimes there's a little nugget that you might find along the way. Thank you for joining me. The love and the light in my heart bows to the love and the light in your hearts. Namaste. Have great days. Thank you for coming. Please let me know if there's anything that you would like to see in our classes. Nice to see some other friends joining today. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to be back tomorrow. I had thought I was going to transition to one class a week, and I missed you guys. So we're going to slide in a class tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday, and it's going to be a yin yang class. So if you didn't have an opportunity to join that a few weeks ago, please check it out, or you can check the YouTube later. So we'll do about 20 minutes of flow and 20 minutes of deeper stretches. So check that out. It's available to you, as well as the other offerings. And just a little plug, the fitness instructors have been invited to participate in Learning Week. So we are going to be doing a demo of our stretch class and a little bit of intro to mindfulness tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So go on the Ars Martel University site and you'll see our group offering there, and be happy to see you guys if you can take a moment to do that. Thanks very much, friends. Namaste.